1967. Gas was 33 cents per gallon. A movie ticket was $1.25. NASA launched the Lunar Orbiter 3 to photograph the moon's surface for future missions. And a science center on a mountaintop was taking shape. The United States was behind the Russians in the space race, and a push to educate students in science paired nicely with the availability of a former military site 1,000 feet above the Farmington Valley with a breathtaking view of 5,000 square miles.
Lyndon Johnson came out with a program, Title III. It was called Projects to Advance Creativity and Education. So George Atami and I were teaching science in Avon. So we saw a niche that we could go after. For the land, we had a good friend in Washington. His name was Senator A. Ripperkoff. So we went and visited with him. And it turned out we were successful with both getting the land and the money at the same time.
Don LaSalle, George Atamian, Frank Driscoll, Al Liftig, Bob Hunt, Mo Brunoli, Lou Polino, and Oliver Thompson formed a core team that started Talcott Mountain Science Center. The center provided programs and a learning environment for 10 local towns, programs they couldn't provide on their own. An exchange program brought in teachers and science professionals from across the globe. Hands-on learning was the focus.
The Chinese had a saying, it says, I hear and I forget, I see and I remember, but I do and I understand. It's always the way we learn. You learn through multiple senses.
Through the 70s, the Talcott Mountain Science Center built a reputation for being on the forefront of science education. By the early 80s, they faced some challenges.
It was a matter of survival, and if we'd have stayed strictly as a science center, it would have been impossible. So a major change in our mission after 15 years was an academy to provide for the bright kids. We call them intellectually excited kids.
1983 marked the first year of classes at the Talcott Mountain Academy.
And then we had to really be innovative, so we came out with programs like Shoulders of Giants.
For more than 30 years, the Shoulders of Giants program has attracted famous scientists, explorers, and educators. Astronaut Alan Bean, forensic pathologist Henry Lee, and primatologist Jane Goodall.
I think she still has the record for the most people that came. And she got up, and here's this little petite, diminutive British woman. She lets out a screeching yell of what a chimpanzee would do. And she said, I know you're going to ask me to do this, so I'll do it now and get it out of the way.
More than 300 presenters, including Nobel laureates, MacArthur Fellows, and award-winning industry experts, have participated in the center's interactive live television program, watched by thousands of students in more than 35 states, giving students across the country a front-row seat without ever having to leave their classrooms.
Being in science and science education is pretty exciting because I think we not only teach about it, we did it.
Don was one of the early leaders in chronobiology, the study of when our biological systems work best.
Chronobiology, I became a participant. I became an active member of it. I did what the kids did. Whereas most subjects, you don't do that. You teach about it, you don't participate.
His studies were so revolutionary, it's just now that schools are implementing his ideas and realizing that students function better at certain times of the day.
If you give me a test early in the morning, I'm going to flunk it. Give it to me late in the afternoon, I do well, and I proved it statistically.
For 50 years, the passion of teachers like Don have touched the lives of more than 200,000 students, giving them the opportunity to learn by doing. A lot has changed since 1967, but our philosophy is still relevant today, inspiring a love for learning through the hands-on application of science and technology.
My legacy is just probably the Science Center, that we took an idea that nobody thought would succeed, and we kept it going. But I don't think about so much what I did. I think about what we're going to do next time. You always have to have a new idea.
The vision of Don LaSalle and the other founders of the Talcott Mountain Science Center holds true in an often heard quote from Don. You must invent the future, or surely it will invent you.